Hi guys, and welcome to the class where we're going to learn how to create loops. So what we need for loops, we need our fabric, and of course we need the dress that we're working on.
So right now we need to cut our fabric. We need to cut strips of fabric, but we need to ensure that we cut on the bias so that it can give. So you can see me holding it and trying to ensure that it's cut on the bias. So it's also very good to iron before cutting. It's just going to help you everything stay in place. So right now I'm just cutting out my strips of bias. So I'm just going to cut like 3 strips. So the measurements for my strips are 1.5 inch wide. So you can either do like 1 inch or 1.5, depending on how wide you need the loops to look.
Hey guys, so I've cut my bias and now I'm just going to stitch it. I'm going to stitch it at about 1/4 and then I'll try to turn it. So I'm supposed to use a turner, but I really don't know where my turner is. So God help me, I'll use like a broomstick or something. Okay guys, so we're going to use an arc right now. We're going to sew here and then we're going to, yeah, so I'm sewing this edge here. So she's going to use a broom all the way down, but if I had my turner it would have been amazingly easy. Did you get a stick of broom? Okay, you will use pin. You can't use pin, this thing is long. That one just sew. Yes, gladly. Even so too safe. So I'm sewing it and she's gonna help me with the magic. So this is the part that we stitched. So she's putting the needle in here to be able to bring it down. So I would have used like a longer broom, but this is still, and the broom can break, so she's using needle, sewing machine needle, and it's working out fast, guys.
So I'm just trying to stitch the head of my strip right now so that my assistant can use a pin to turn it for me, because I can't find my turner. So she's just going to do an hack and use a pin to turn it. After that, I'm going to join all my back pieces together. That's my side back and my center back for the left side, and my side back and my center back for the right side. Once I'm done joining these 2 pieces together, I'm going to go and iron, and then we can come and mark where our loop positions need to be. That's where the loops need to stay.
Thank you, Ruth. Guys, say thank you, Ruth.
Am I ironing it? Or just leave
Yes,
it like
please. Yes, please. Can you help me iron it? So she's going to iron it now. So I have one side of my back. I'm going to stitch for the second side of my back, and then I'm going to also cut the lining, and then I'm going to come and start marking my point for my eyelets, right? For my, yeah, and then I'm going to put my flap. So there's a lot that we need to do here. Thank you so much, guys. See, so I was really scared that this thing was going to give me issues, so I made it big. But yeah, so we have our strips. Amazing. So we'll keep it, we'll put it aside. I'm going to sew this now, cut the lining, interface it, and keep that aside as well, because when we're doing this we'll need that as well. I have the second part. I'm going to go and iron flat, and then I'll just cut one lining. Now I'm just doing I'll just then come and cut the lining. I'll cut the lining up to here, and then I'll use this same fabric for the lining up to here. Okay guys, so now I've gone ahead to iron my lining, so I'll keep it aside. I've extended it for the back, so I'm keeping it aside because we're going to need it when we're doing our finishing, right? So all these are pieces. There's something else that we'll be needing for the back, and that's like the flap that is going to help us cover the loops, right? So the next thing I want to do now is to join my two backs together. The next thing I want you guys to get is that with the loops, you can actually choose to be like here exactly, or you can choose to do like a V, so there will be an opening up here. So I'm going to choose to do the V. Actually, if I was going to do the V, I should have done it on my pattern already, you understand? So next time you will think of it from the initial, from the onset, you know. So I'll come here like 2 inches. I mean, depending on how much you want to be on the over there, yeah, and then I want to start around here. So please chalk it, rule it, and do the proper thing. So I'm cutting that out. Yeah, because the lining and everything needs to be the same, that's why I had to cut the lining as well. So I'll still keep the lining aside. So my pattern has changed now. Instead of where it was before, it's now like this. So what I'm going to do now is to join this all the way, right? And then I'm going to, once I join this, I'm going to then come and mark where my loops need to be. So I should have like maybe 10 loops on each side, right? Obviously, because I have now opened this place up, is either I have a bare back or I put something to support it under. So we're going to get to that, but let's do our loops first. So I'm going to join this, and then I'll come back and start marking and then fixing my loops.
So over here I'm marking 2 cm each. It just depends on how much space you want to leave on your own loops. I'm just doing 2 cm because I'm working with the miniature. Maybe real life, maybe I'll do 1.5 inches. You understand?
So I'll now get what's good for me. Now this looks good, so maybe it's like 2.5 inches, or I can make it 2 inches, right? Once I do it, the next thing I need to do is use that to cut all the other pieces. So I'm going to be cutting 16 pieces, right? So once I get all of these loops now, the next thing I need to do is I don't start fixing it immediately. No, I take it like this and I stitch every single one. I stitch it already, so that when I am fixing this here, my struggles are limited, so that I'm not trying to stitch this together and trying to put it here at the same time. Even if you pin it, it won't work, it will lose. So the ideal thing to do is to take this and pin it, yeah, sew it on, stitch it on the machine. So I'm gonna go on my machine now. Yeah, so the next thing, I'm picking it like this. So I'll make sure that it crosses like kind of each other. Okay, let me show you guys. Okay, I am going to cross it like this. Here and come and be sticking it. So now I'm going to do this. I'm going to start doing this like one after the other, one after the other. I'll stick it like this so that when I am done it will come out like this. So let's start sticking one after the other. Okay, so some are really small and some are big. Okay, so let's do the other side. Okay, my fabric is moving all over the place. Let me use my needle to like trap it in. Okay. Wow, I have one big space somewhere. Anyway, you get the drift. So these are my loops right now. So it won't look pretty until I bring my line in. So this one is gonna cover here. And this one will cover here. So let's use our lining to cover here. But by the time I do this and do this, see the beautiful thing that we had here. So you have to forgive me for the bigger ones, and then the one that I missed, this one here. But let me see if there's something I can do. Okay, I've tried to tweak it somehow. So guys, see, it's so pretty.
So I go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. Okay guys, so that'll be all for this class. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, and if you like this video, please like it and also hit the notification bell so that you'll be the first to know when
The
next I drop a
step,
video like this.
once I am done ironing and all, will be to bring a flap to cover here, because I can't just leave my bare body open like that. In fact, we're going to use this as the
Okay guys, so lastly I head to the ironing board to iron out what I just did thoroughly, and that is where you get the look that you're expecting, that you need, the magic. So ironing is really key. See you in the next one, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel, and also hit the notification bell. Bye.
See you later.